The Dark Shadows.
Thank you again to Jim for being the best.
Episodes. For audio dramas for Big Finish Productions. Some of them are full cast adventures. Some of them are short stories. They're all over the map using the great talents, the vocal talents of so many of our wonderful Dark Shadows actors from the original series, and Joanna Going and Roy Dennis, Barbara Steele from the 91 series, and Lisette Anthony have contributed, Rebecca Staub. And I would like you to meet the gentleman who's behind the Big Finish enterprise, all the way from the mother country. Let's greet Jason Ellery.
Hello! Oh, hello, dog.
That's Bongo.
Hello. My name's Jason Haigh-Ellery from Big Finish, and this is Ursella Burton. And Ursula, as you may know, has directed a number of Dark Shadows audio adventures. So, thank you very much. So we're here today to have a little chat about the last 20 years of audio drama, but also to announce that we will be releasing 2 special releases for the 60th anniversary. Isn't that right, Jim?
Yes. It's the full cast. 20 years ago in Hollywood, the actors live on stage performed Vengeance at Collinwood, and written by Jameson Selby. Jameson and I had collaborated on The Return to Collinwood a couple years before, and that was before Big Finish was in the picture, thanks to our pal Stuart Manning. And but back to 20 years ago, this live performance was never released because everything from Big Finish has been studio recording, is immaculate, and all under those. But so I actually went through the Vengeance recording and kind of tightened up some of the live, because obviously playing a live drama on stage, you're going to get lots of reactions, and that's fine. It's like a concert album. You know, if you're at the Whiskey a Go-Go or wherever, you're going to hear it. So there's some of that in there, which kind of gives it a fun, extra theatrical bent, because you're listening to a live in front of not a studio audience, but a ballroom audience. So that's what Jason's talking about, and we've got that with a special bonus disc of Jonathan Fritt doing some readings and some interviews, and it's just a really perfect commemoration for the 60th anniversary on silver platters called CDs, right? Remember those? And they'll be digital as well, but for the 60th, there's a limited edition CDs, and they'll have that. They're arriving late tonight, the slow boat. We've had that problem with several things. The Curse of Dark Shadows is alive and well. The Dark Shadows More books did not show up in time, or the Legacy books, and Stuart's new magazine, Daytime Gothic, had a setback, and Tammy's book, Patty's book on Saitama Shop got delayed. So it's been, you're just part of the long list.
Yeah, can you guys come back on Monday? Would that be, because that would be quite good for us, I think. So.
And the thing is, I mean, Jason's got his hand and mind in a lot of different enterprises, and the Big Finish dramas have also had a strong presence with Doctor Who, which of course is just a nuclear-powered property. And I know in the past you did the one with Highlander, didn't you? Do Highlander?
Yes, we did Highlander. Funnily enough, we did a Highlander convention here.
Yeah.
So when I turned up at the hotel yesterday and I looked around and thought, I've been here before, and then it took me a minute to realise. Yeah. But there you go, I've probably done conventions in pretty much every hotel in LAX at some point, as I'm sure of you.
It's definitely the circuit, and this is our first time here, but the whole concept of audio dramas obviously goes back to radio days, and yet, with all the new sound effects and editing tools, and it just, these things are they can be very slick and just very engaging. People realize that the visual can be in their head, and we want to really stress upon the fans, these are new episodes and sequels, and in some case sequel to a sequel, which is called a sequel. And we did do a backstory of Jonathan Frid with the wonderful story that Stuart Manning wrote, and Night Whispers, and that was what I call a vampire in winter. He was looking back and had Willie there. That was really one of the extra special releases, and went up to Canada to get Jonathan on audio because and he was faltering, but he wanted to give it a go, and we got through it.
I think that was his last acting performance.
And yes, we got Jonathan for one title, The Night Whispers, and but you know, it's been fun when we've had a whole group of people in the studio, and then other times it's been New York, LA, and then splice it together. But
yes.
Anyway, it's because tell us, you know, what you've learned about Dark Shadows, because being British, the show did not air there until the 90s on the Sci-Fi Channel.
No, and in fact, I was introduced.
The movies have been out, but you know, it wasn't in the vernacular like it is over here.
No, I was very much introduced to the series by Stuart Manning, funny enough, who said we should be doing this as an audio drama. And Big Finish started in '98, and we got the Doctor Who license in '99, and we then picked up a series called The Tomorrow People in around about 2002. So when it, thank you very much, it's a great series. When it came round to, we were constantly looking for the next big thing to do, and Stuart said, come and do Dark Shadows. Stuart, are you here? Is he? Stuart? Oh, hello! So, yes, he's the one to blame, really, is what I'm saying. But we progressed along, and we did various different things, and there was a lot of offshoots done as well. So which ones, you've directed quite a few recently?
Yes, I mean other series. We did Van PD and Stargate and Doctor Who and then of course Dark Shadows.
Yes.
And Dark Shadows, actually, I started as an actor on Dark Shadows playing Susan Griffin. And then, that's so nice, which I just immensely enjoyed, and that sort of introduced me to this wonderful company. But then when I started to direct them, what was so incredibly exciting for me was being able to work with these extraordinary actors, so many of whom are here today. And it just was such a pleasure, sort of, with people who have lived with these characters their whole lives practically, and then diving even deeper into other stories, new, sometimes even new characters that they're playing in different times. So it was just, it's been really a pleasure.
And the fun thing about, one of the fun things about Dark Shadows is the different eras that it's, you know, and that gives different perspective to the actors to do different, same but different, if you see what I mean?
Yes, exactly, same but different.
It's, you know, it's really incredible looking back doing these for 20 years and to see the great volume and the arsenal of creativity, and you know, bringing some new people into the show, but also finding these little side stories and doing there's a whole batch of great. I call them Nick and Nora. It's like the Thin Man with Trask, with Tony Peterson and Cassandra, the Tony and Cassandra mysteries. You know? Those are just
I'm so glad
fun.
you're enjoying them.
Because Laura Parker and Jerry Lacey worked a little bit on the show together. It was, you know, usually when Trask was trying to banish or punish Angelique in one of her incarnations, but you know, otherwise they didn't really have any real interaction. So they really enjoyed doing these mysteries, the Tony and Cassandra mysteries. And Jerry did play Trask and other Big Finish. So it's been just like the original series. The actors have taken on multiple roles when it worked out. And we got some wonderful people, like Mitch Ryan did one with Catherine Scott, so you had Maggie and Burke back together. And it's Nancy Barrett. I recorded a number of them with her in Phoenix. And it's just been a real, you know, put on a show kind of thing. And the actors they've got a kick out of it, you know, whether it's going to Donna McKechnie, going to studio in Midtown Manhattan, and Marie Wallace, the two of them, and they get to they had never worked together, and that's the festivals sometimes have been nice conduits that way. But with Big Finish, you know, you guys really are the top notch. I mean, you're class act, and you know, and I think the Shadows contingent, you know, has responded, you know, and that we've really, everybody's been involved, and it's just, that's just not always the case with these properties, when particularly as big ensemble as Dark Shadows had.
No, it's been wonderful that it's been very much like Doctor Who in that respect, that all the older actors and the actors who have been involved for all these years through the conventions really wanted to play the characters again. And that's been great. I don't think we had a no from anyone, did we? I can't think of anyone.
No.
So it's
Yeah, when you were in the booth with everybody, it was a little bit like a mini reunion every time people would come together. It's very joyful, actually. When you do these audio dramas, they really are large undertakings because they're very long and they're very, very long days in the booth. But I think because all the actors love each other so much, it was always very joyful.
With your other series, with like Doctor Who, and what are some of the other current properties you're doing?
Well, we just announced that we're doing Young Bond, so that was an 8-year negotiation, which I have on my person a photograph of the man playing Young Bond, but it'd be wrong of me to show you. That's the big new thing for us, adapting those wonderful books which were written about Bond's early life, and working with the Ian Fleming estate has been fantastic, and they've been so supportive, and they really want this to work, and Amazon as well have been fantastic, but also given us deadlines. So I have a fair idea when they're going to announce the new Bond, but I can't tell you, because they said you've got to get everything done by then. And I went, okay, absolutely. But yeah, no, that's been great. Working on Doctor Who in the different iterations, Torchwood, Class, the Unit series we do. How many of you actually listen to, I should ask, how many of you listen to Big Finish Doctor Who? Oh, pretty good percentage, okay. How many of you are listening to Big Finish Dark Shadows? More, good, that's what I hear. How many of you have never heard of Big Finish Dark Shadows? How very dare you. What I would say, though...
Oh, this is your chance.
Well, can I just say, plug. First of all, we love Albuquerque, but unfortunately our stock loves it even more. The stock is actually in Albuquerque because apparently there was something went wrong with the tyre, but it's supposed to be in tonight, and tomorrow morning we're going to have a load of stock for you to buy. But pick up this little flyer, which if you use the link and use the password Westin, as in where we are now, until Wednesday, you get 50% off all the Dark Shadow titles on Big Finish. So if you've never tried Big Finish before, grab one of these, get in there, go and buy one, see what you think. But also, there's enough of you around here, about 50% of the people here know Big Finish and buy them because they love the Dark Shadows releases. So go and talk to your friends in the bar tonight and they'll say, oh, you need this one and you need this one. But I've got to say, you must listen to Night Whispers, because Jonathan Frid is unbelievable in it. It is his last performance, and it was an honour for us to have him do that performance, and he won an award for it, didn't he? And I can't remember which one it was. It was a while ago.
I think it was probably the Rondo.
Sorry?
Was it one of the Rondo Awards?
Yes, I think it was, yeah. And very justifiably as well. So that's my little plug out of the way. Sorry about that.
Well, we're very grateful to you and the ongoing relationship, and this. Ironically, it began right when Dan passed away in March of 2006, and we were just, of course, we were segueing into the Johnny Depp movie, which was a whole crazy experience, and that went through 3 script writers, and it was, John August did a straight treatment of it. And then the second rider I took up to Canada to meet with Jonathan, and then so we ended up with Beetlejuice meets Dark Shadows. But the Big Finish stories have been a kind of a safe haven to try to make it canon as much as possible. But sometimes like House of Dark Shadows has nothing to do with the TV show, right? And not a Dark Shadows, you're in like a parallel time again. So wherever it is, we've had a great time, and look forward to keeping our fires burning. And thank you, Jason, for being the captain of the ship.
Well, thank you, Jim, because it's a fantastic series, and we've really enjoyed working within that series. And thank you for all your support. Thank you very much.
And be sure to drop by. Big Finish is in the lobby out here. They do have Bloodlust. I'm trying to remember which one you have, but until the new special release comes in later this evening. And they'll be there tomorrow.